Very good evening to all our online guests this evening. I'm very honored to welcome Venerable Dr. Mirisse Dhammika Mahatero to this evening's Dhamma sharing series. So this evening's APPAMADANA series will be on the topic of APPAMADANA, or heedfulness. So Bhante, Dr. Dhammika will explain why we have to be heedful in our actions, speech, and thoughts at all times. So welcome again, and I wish to introduce Bhante. So Bhante Dr. Mirisse Dhammika Mahatera is the chief incumbent monk of Siri Sadaham Senasuna Monastery at Battramula, Sri Lanka. He obtained his master's and doctorate from Simon Fraser University in British Columbia, Canada. His thesis was on education for mindfulness from a diary of a monk. He was ordained as a novice monk at the tender age of 9 and then attained higher ordination. As a scholar, and having published 2 main publications on mindfulness and loving kindness and numerous short booklets based on discourses of the Buddha, he devotes much time writing and compiling articles and other Buddhist scripts. He believes in Dhamma education for children and has personally administered 2 Dhamma schools, one in Sinhala and one in English. Both offer weekly classes from grades 1 to 10 and serve over 1,000 children from all walks of life. Bhante Dr. Dhammika remains convinced that the society can always be directed in the right path, the path as shown by the Buddha, and hence has taken upon himself a Herculean task of spreading the word of the Buddha. So let us put our palms together to welcome Bhante to give his Dhamma talk this evening. And after that, we will have a chance for question and answer. So let's pass the stage on to Bhante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear Dhamma friends, first of all, I would like to wish and bless everyone to be well and happy. Today, I would like to talk about APPAMADANA, heedfulness. My topic is heedfulness. In Pali, APPAMADANA. Before explaining and clarifying what APPAMADANA is or what heedfulness is, I would like to lay a background or foundation for this subject. When we talk about the Buddha's last words, he was on his deathbed. The Buddha said, Vaidamma sankhara appamadena sampadeta. Transient are all component things, therefore work diligently. Transient are all component things, therefore work diligently. That's the summary of the Buddha's teachings, what he preached throughout his 45 years life. Dear Dhamma friends, being a human is so rare. It's very important. Even when we ask people to be mindful and diligent, to work towards deathlessness or final achievement of Nibbana. That's our ultimate goal of journey according to Buddha's teachings. Before that, we have to clarify the importance of this valuable human life. The Buddha said, Kicho Manussa Patilapo. Being a human is so rare. Dear Dhamma friends, compared to animal world, you understand about the validity of human lives. We are able to count human heads, but we are unable to count animal world. The Buddha said, all living beings, including you and myself, have suffered a lot in our previous lives, especially being in hells. There are major 4 types of hells. In one of them, each one of you and each one of us have been suffered a lot for millions, billions lives in the past. As Buddhists, we believe in rebirth. According to that teachings, being a human is so rare. Now already completed, human population is 8 billion. Human population is 8 billion. It's already completed 1 month ago. But still, it's a very simple things when you compare to animal world, because animals are living on this earth. See, with some animals, we are living, we are associating with them, like puppies, dogs, and some birds, so on. Therefore, I would like to first of all invite everyone to train your mind to accept the truth of greatness of this humanity. Otherwise, people don't want to think about what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do. So that's why, first of all, I ask everyone to evaluate their humanity. Being a human is so rare. But still, we are in a risk. What does it mean? For each moment, we are losing our time. For each moment, we are losing our time. In this era, it's the same, just we are having under this long life. It's a general assumption. But still, any time we may leave this world keeping everything behind. Even we were in mother's womb, we may become dead. Even mother delivers a baby, the baby may be a miscarriage. After we got this rare chance of human life, within 100 years, any time we may leave this world. Therefore, we have to realize the difference between conventional truth and absolute truth. Conventional it's me, but absolutely nothing to say in my own mind. Conventional it's me, but absolutely nothing to say in my own mind. You know why I'm explaining about these 2 things? Because some people are think Buddhism is pessimistic. some people are thinking Buddhism is pessimistic because we are talking about as major topics anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca means impermanence, dukkha means unsatisfactory, and anatta means no self. When we talk about these subjects, some may think, oh, it's a kind of disaster in our lives, what they are talking about. Why we are going to talk about suffering rather than think about beauty of this human life? We are supposed to enjoy within this human period of time rather than thinking about our dark side of lives. Some people might ask that kind of questions. So that's why we have to clarify the difference between Samudaya and Paramahansa, or conventional truth and absolute truth. Buddhism is not pessimistic or optimistic, but it is realistic. Buddhism is not pessimistic or optimistic, but it is realistic. Are showing the reality of this human nature. Nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent, transient, all component things. By knowing this truth, we have to act accordingly. What does it mean? Of course, we have to train our mind to accept the truth of impermanence. According to our Buddhist culture, we are supposed to pick beautiful flowers up and then bring to the Buddha statue. Just we are offering these flowers in front of Buddhist statues because the Buddha is not alive, but teachings of the Buddha is alive. Therefore, when we place beautiful flowers in front of the Buddhist statue, we are going to think about, or we are going to concentrate on the teachings of the Buddha of impermanence. Like these flowers are subject to get withered. Having comparison of our own body, this body is subject to get sick and old. When we get sick and old, we become helpless and innocent. It doesn't matter how you are, how about your background, how about your behavior, whether you are beautiful or not, whether you are rich or not, but still, we are subject to get sick and old. At that time, we become helpless and innocent, of course. We may go through treatment, but still, finally, we have to end up with last thought moment of our lives. You may have lots of experiences with past 2 years. That means everybody pays for COVID-19 or coronavirus. See, even poor countries, some people were suffering. Like other people, those who are in so-called rich countries, everybody is suffering equally. When they find a vaccine is equal for everyone, those who get affected. See? So that's why we have to realize nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. When we offer these flowers in front of the Buddha statue, we concentrate on that. That means even our lives are subject to go through old age, sicknesses, death, associating with unfriendly people, departing from loved ones, not getting what we want. Finally, we have to leave this world, keeping everything behind. Even with a single hair in our body, we do not have 100% control. See, by knowing this truth, we have to use for a good cause. This valuable time we are supposed to use for a good cause. Of course, conventionally, being a virtuous person or being virtuous living being, you have to work, you have to study, work hard, find jobs, make money rightfully, build houses, buy vehicles, do your duties towards each other. You have to start with your own family, and you may have your own experiences. Conventionally, you are all right. People would say, but overnight, you may not become a rich person, but with virtues, you are able to be a rich person within yourself. It's very important. We have to talk to our own consciousness. We have to talk to our own conscience. We have to talk to our own mind and heart. At that time, we have to touch our mind or heart and then to promise ourselves whether I'm a right person or not. That means if we have broken human qualities, what the Buddha explained in teachings, in his teachings, that means killing or harming or hurting beings, including humans, stealing others' belongings which is not belongs to us, and abusing our five senses, they are breaking family bonds, so on, lying, including harsh words, slanderous words, malicious words, and gossip. Also, some are taking intoxicating drugs and drinks. Those are the kind of things spreading all over the world today, of course. Without following these kind of things, just we have to overcome our things. That means being a virtuous person, you have to get success, of course. This is what I meant. You have to study well, work hard, make money rightfully, and build houses or buy houses, vehicles, do your duties. I would say those should be moral duties towards each other, towards your loved ones. Finally, just we have to end up with all living beings. We can serve whole world, but at least our family members, neighbors, our villagers, we are able to serve them. This is that I ask you. Conventionally, that's all right. Just we have to go through. But the real thing is absolutely nothing to say. Is permanently is mine or it's me. Absolutely nothing is permanent. Conventionally, we have to work with our own body. Sometimes you may keep it clean. You have to beautify. You have to dress up with beautiful clothes, pleasant clothes. That's fine. But still, we have to go through all these sicknesses and finally meet with death. We may face for last journey of death anytime. Sometimes tonight I may leave this world. You may leave this world tonight. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow noon, afternoon, night, anytime. By saying these kind of things, I'm not going to ask you to cry, but to be mindful. Be diligent. What's happening? So that's why I explain. Conventionally it's me, but absolutely nothing to say my own mind. Therefore, we are not supposed to abuse any system on this earth. It could be religious, it could be societal, it could be your family laws, but still we have respect. Why? Again, I would like to remind you, anytime we may leave this world, keeping everything behind. Therefore, we have to train our mind to accept the three things. What are those? The characteristics of existence. We have to train our mind with three characteristics of existence. That means anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca, impermanence. Dukkha means unsatisfactory, and anatta, no self. Again, I would like to remind you, we are not going to ask anyone to cry by thinking this way, but to be mindful. But to be mindful. Therefore, be a virtuous person. That means we are touching with the word of Appamada. Being a heedful. You have to follow heedfulness. When we talk about heedfulness of Appamada, the Buddha said, Appamado Anuppada. Heedfulness leads towards states of deathlessness, immortality. But the person who is heedless leads to death. What does it mean? Someone is heedful, who is purifying his mind from evil thoughts of Lobha, dosa, moha. Lobha means greed. Dosa means aversion. And moha means illusion. Just I'm using some Pali terms, but the Buddha used in his teachings. When we clean our mind from evil thoughts of greed, aversion, and illusion, that means we are going to practice Appamada or heedfulness. Someone is heedless, that means who's going to continue greed or lobha, and dosa or aversion or anger, and moha. Moha means illusion or delusion. What are the difference between greed, aversion, and illusion? Also, non-greed, non-aversion, and non-illusion. What are the difference between these two areas? Someone is greedy. That means someone is following greed. Who is greedy? Always just he's trying to be selfish. Who think about his own mind, how to fulfill his own thoughts and wishes. Of course, we have to work towards our own wishes and aspirations, but nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. Even when you talk about your whole life or your own body, even it's not having a permanent entity. Even it is impermanent. Therefore, you are not supposed to strong feelings of desires. This is what here we are talking about lobha or greed. Rightfully, you can study, work, make money, do other things. Rightfully. That means you are not going to violate any rules, but we explain in 5 precepts. We respect others' lives. We respect others' belongings. We respect others' family bonds or family lives. We respect others' career. Otherwise, we are not going to use lies or men's words. Also, we respect this society without engaging in taking intoxicating drugs and things, so on. Therefore, when we talk about how to follow this Appamada, we are going to follow non-greed, non-aversion, and non-illusions. But if you are going to follow greed, aversion, and illusion, that means we are following heedlessness. But when we talk about our current society, People are competing. People are trying to compete each other. There's a competition between countries, between societies, so on. Of course, we are asking people to work hard, study well, being righteous. But do not violate any rules because nothing is permanent. So that's why we have to clarify the difference between greed, aversion, and illusion. At the same time, non-greed, non-aversion, non-illusion. When you study, of course, you have to work hard to fulfill your future. You want to you want to have a bright future. Of course, you have to work towards that. But you are not going to violate any rules. As I explained, you respect lives, you respect others' beliefs. Because nothing is permanent. So I am going to violate any rules. Anytime I may leave this world, keeping everything behind. Also, I don't know what kind of sicknesses I have to get within this body. Everybody has to go through lots of sicknesses. Of course, we have to take precautions. That's fine, but still, like COVID-19 virus, everybody is subject to get with this virus. It happened to everybody. So that's why, by knowing this truth, we are not supposed to violate this system. And then you can study. You can do your best. You have to use your mental and physical energy to compete your own laziness. You are not going to compete other people with anger or jealousy. Of course, when you play games or sports, of course you have to compete. Those are sports. Or it's a game. That's fine. Everybody is competing each other. Nothing is harmful. But when we talk about human career or how to follow our lives, you have to study well, work hard, but not to violate any rules. That means killing or hurting other beings, so especially other fellow humans. You have to respect others' belongings. So, and then study well. Be a qualified person into this human world, find a job, make money, and then do other things. That's fine. But still, you are trained to accept the truth of nothing is permanent. This is what we are asking you and myself to follow the Buddha's teachings. At the same time, when you talk about your family life, between wife and husband, you have to do your duties towards each other. Husband, of course, you have to respect your wife. You are not supposed to put her down. You have to respect all the time. Sometimes she may have lots of weaknesses, sometimes. At the same time, like a father, you have to advise and talk to her with lovely words. You are not supposed to break your family bonds, but to put kind of moral things between you and her. At the same time, you have to protect her, having lots of treatments. Of course, you have to do it. That's fine. See, when we talk about heedfulness, we are not going to ask you to be inactive. Of course, you have to be active. Conventionally, it's right. But we are asking you, according to the teachings of Buddha, not to violate our teachings. That means not to follow greed, strong feelings of greed, and dosa means aversion, and moha means illusion. Simply, I have to clarify again. Some people think somehow we have to get these things. Somehow I have to get into. It could be your profession. It could be your, richness. It could be your aspirations. Somehow I get into that. People might think, and then even killing or hurting other people, even stealing others' belongings. They want to fulfill their wishes or aspirations. That's not the right things. That means they are heedless. Why? They are accumulating lots of evil thoughts. That means craving. As a result of these strong feelings of craving, definitely they are going to suffer within this life. At the same time, after death, they are going to be born in one else. So that's why. Therefore, without violating these humanity or rules, what the Buddha explained to us to follow, just go through our lives, continue our lives. That's fine. I explained the duties between wife and husband. Husband supposed to do his duties towards his wife. At the same time, wife supposed to do her duties towards his husband, doing house all things, housework, chores, at the same time respecting both parties' relatives, also protecting your family bonds as a loving wife, at the same time being a simple but observed within your family life, at the same time all the time you have to be talented in your career as a wife. Of course you have to do it, but nothing is permanent. When we talk about heedfulness or appamada, the concept of impermanence is so important. But still, keep in your mind, by saying or by repeating impermanence, we are not going to ask you to be inactive. Of course, you have to be active. You have to be inactive in doing evil things, but you have to be active in doing good things, following virtues. This is what we are asking you. At the same time, when we talk about duties between parents and children, of course, it's equal when we talk about people, those who are living all over the world. It doesn't matter which skin color you got by birth, but still, blood is red, tears are salt. It doesn't matter which language you speak, which religion you follow, which race or country you belong to, but still, blood is red, tears are salt. With this understanding, when we talk about the duties between parents and children, conventionally, parents would treat their children with love and compassion. Sometimes while holding children's hands, at the same time while hugging their children, they used to say, I love you, my darling. You are an apple in my eyes. I never leave you. Without you, Even I cannot spend one night or single night. You are in my life. Parents would say, of course, you have to do your duties towards them. You have to avoid them, evil things. As parents, you have to avoid your children from evil things. You have to teach them what is right and what is not right. What is wholesome activities and what is unwholesome. What are wholesome activities and what are the unwholesome activities. That means what is kusala or what is akusala. Of course, you have to give a good education to them. Also, you have to arrange their marriages and things. Also, if you have any properties or whatever, you can grant to them. That's fine. But still, nothing is permanent. While doing all kind of duties towards them, you have to make your mind, any time I may leave my kids. It doesn't matter how much I love myself and how much I love my children. By holding their hands, you might murmur. You might say with loving words, but still, we may leave each other. That's the nature. That's the real nature. And then what we are supposed to do? Before leaving this world, before leaving everybody, each other, just do your moral duties towards each other. As what I explained, duties between wife and husband, between parents and children, just you have to do your duties towards each other. But anytime, we may leave everybody. See? But without doing our moral duties as our best, we are going to claim you are in my life. Without you, I can't survive on this earth. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why the Buddha said, birth is suffering. If we come to this world, or if we are going to reborn, definitely we have to go through this kind of nature. When we become humans, we have to face for old age, sicknesses, finally meet with death. We can avoid it. Generally, within 100 years long life, within 100 years, any time, we have to leave this world, including your loved ones and things, worldly things. It doesn't matter what kind of property you earned, what kind of things you disturbed in your mind, how much dollars or money or rupees or whatever just you are having in your bank account. Those are only concepts. When we become unconscious, those things just useless to us. So that's why we are asking you, be mindful, be vigilant. What's happening with your own body and own your life and with this world. That means appamada. That means you are going to be heedful. When we talk about heedfulness, I would like to ask you to focus on other part of subject of this talk. That means we have to talk about simply 4 types of mindfulness. 4 types of mindfulness. Kaya kayanupassye viharati. You have to be mindful with your bodily action. You have to be mindful with your bodily action. You have to be mindful with your feelings or sensations. You have to be mindful with your mind. You have to be mindful with objects, what you are going to follow in your mind. Let's see what first one is. Kayanupassana, the Pali word is Kayanupassana, concentration on bodily action. Start with breathing. Each time. When we focus on our normal breath, we have to have an understanding. We have to have an understanding of impermanence. Again, the word of impermanence is there. That's the real truth. We can't forget it without applying into our lives. We can't talk about the teachings of the Buddha. That's a major topic of teachings of the Buddha. Yeah. With understanding of impermanence, just we have to focus on our normal breath. I'm focusing on breath. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. I'm inhaling and exhaling. I'm following breath with understanding. And then we feel nothing is permanent. How come it appears in our own mind? For a moment, just we have to look into that. We may feel that breath is changing into long or into short. I'm having a long breath or short breath. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. With my own body, I'm going to continue my breath. My life depends on my own breath. Breath stop, life is gone. Breath stop, life is gone. Therefore, I have to focus on my breath. I feel breathing and breathing out. Breathing and breathing out. When we talk about with understanding of impermanence, even my body or life is nothing is permanent. Therefore, being a virtuous person, I have to continue my lives. I have to serve towards myself. At the same time, I have to serve towards others as well. At the same time, I have to look into my own mind and thoughts. I don't want to have an attachment towards myself or towards others. Of course, I have to clean my body. I have to keep my body clean. I have to dress up it accordingly. But still, I'm not going to have a strong attachment of this body by thinking it's permanent. If we're going to grasp things as permanent, definitely we are going to invite for sorrow and pains. Because everything is impermanent, we are going to grasp these things by thinking it's permanent, and then as its nature, it changes. We get upset. Oh, I got these things by thinking it's permanent, it's my life. My life is completed because I got these things. But now these things are going to change. Of course, it's having a constant changes. When it becomes to change, we get upset. So that's why people used to say, oh, when I meet with you, I thought my whole world is complete. But you left. You departed. I cannot make my mind. When we meet each other, I thought my whole life is completed. I want my whole life nothing to do anything. I have done everything. I'm the luckiest person on this earth. See, some people used to think, of course, they are having the knowledge of impermanence, knowledge of death. Any time we may leave, but it's not practiced, but it's not trained in their mind. So that's right. People are going to uh, kill each other. They are going to suicide. They are going to do lots of bad things. Why? They are claiming. They did not think these kind of things happen to them unexpectedly. It happened to them. This is what they used to claim. But we already told people any time it may happen. But people used to say unexpectedly it happened. All right, conventionally. Conventionally is right. Conventionally we have to arrange things, we have to plan things, we have to establish things, that's right. But any time, without giving a sign, without having a clue, any time, anything may happen into our life. So that's why all the time we have to be mindful to be a virtuous person. We have to be mindful to be a right person. For my case, that means being a monk. My attitude of monkhood should be rightful according to the Buddha's teachings. My explanations of my words, attitude of my words, my behavioral patterns, it could be verbal or physical, should be fascinated by other people. That means I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to cheat other people. And I'm not going to pretend, but still being honest. I have to be purified, virtuous monk. This is my choice. I left my home and then to be a monk. And then I have to be a pure monk's life. When we talk about yourself, after you got married, just you have to continue your virtuous lives. You are not supposed to claim, though I got married, I am having feelings of, attachment, that means lust, or so on. Of course, you are supposed to follow a virtuous married life. That's fine. But still, you are not supposed to follow evil actions because nothing is permanent. Anytime we may leave this world, keeping everything behind. This is what we talk about heedfulness or APPAMADANA. And then, with your own breath, you can teach yourself what anicca impermanence is, what heedfulness is. If you are going to heed less, if you are going to be a heedless differently, you don't know what to do. You may claim, I don't know what happened to me. Now I know it's bad, but at that time, I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what I talk about, but I behaved badly. I talked to them badly. I followed evil things. I didn't know about that. I couldn't remember. I couldn't find my own soul or myself. Within myself, I behave badly. Now I understand it's evil things. See, they are not mindful with their own death. Therefore, when we talk about heedfulness or APPAMADANA, always just you have to be mindful with your bodily action. I ask you to start with your normal breath. Sometimes when we have a strong feelings of burden, it could be strong attachment, it could be anger, jealousy, hatred. Sometimes we are trying to have a relief through our nose, having a long breath, and then trying to, release our feelings through our nose. When we release those kind of very strong feelings of attachment or aversion, we are going to have a relief. Therefore, we have to be mindful with our body action. When we walk, when we stand, when we sit, when we lie down even, all the time, be mindful, be heedful. Conventionally is me. Conventionally, I am running a body. I am following or conducting a body. I am protecting a body. But absolutely, any time, anything may happen to my life. That means I may get sick. I may face for some natural disasters. Anytime I may meet with final destination of death. See, of course. At the same time, even when we use our, bathrooms or washrooms or restrooms, just be mindful. Simply, otherwise you may make a big miss. But still, we are supposed to be mindful with our own body. This is like a mobile washroom. Therefore, we don't want to put other people down because of my beauty or my appearance. Though we are having different colors, but still, our body is equal. That means when we talk about our inside of our body, it is equal. It is full of impurities. So, be mindful not to violate any precepts or rules what the Buddha explained us to follow. Be virtuous persons. And then we feel we are equal by birth. We are equal with our feelings or sensations. Therefore, we have to respect each other. At the same time, we have to understand no matter what kind of background or environment we have, but still our lives are not permanent. When we talk about our feelings, concentration on feelings, you have to be mindful with your thoughts and actions. When we feel loving thoughts is all right, but should be rightful, like between parents and children, wife and husband, so on, of course. But still, nothing is permanent. Otherwise, people might say, as I explained before, without you, I can't survive on this earth. Definitely, when they complete their past karma or their longevity, their age, their period of age, when they complete, they have to leave this world. At that time, loved ones may get upset. So that's why we have to train our mind to accept the truth of impermanence. By knowing this truth, for each moment, we have to be mindful, and then we have to be virtuous as our best, and then to do our duties towards myself and towards others. Work harder, earn money rightfully, do your duties towards each other, because anytime, anything may happen to us. That means APPAMADANA. That means you are going to be equal. Sometimes, like ordinary people, when we face for the things, we don't like it. Sometimes when we face for things, we never wish. Even at that time, we may get upset even at that time. Have a long breath, breathe in and out, practice breathe in and out, and they release so strong feelings of aversion. Nothing is permanent, even anger or jealousy or hatred or whatever evil thoughts are not permanent. Train your mind to accept the truth. Important things, my life, being a human, is so rare compared to animal world. Animal world is just as we are able to see. And then compared to animal world, being a human is so rare. Therefore, if it is impermanent, even our evil thoughts are impermanent. Why I'm going to, fight it with it. We have to correct ourselves. Of course, if we have done something bad or if we are having some weaknesses, but we don't know, we are not supposed to lose our good qualities, our virtues. This is what we are asking everyone to be mindful on your bodily action. Also be mindful on your feelings. When you are having happy feelings, of course you are all right. But even these happy feelings are not permanent. Therefore, you are not supposed to put other people down or do any other kind of bad things because of your richness, because of your happy time. We are not supposed to violate things of society or our humanity, because happy time or happy feelings are not permanent. It may change into unhappy states of our mind. As I explained before, when you meet each other, between loved ones, when you meet with a lovely person, you are going to be happy. But with your meeting, already have a departure there. All meetings ends in departure. All meetings end in departure. Anytime it may happen. Therefore, when we meet, of course we are happy at that time. At the same time, we know any time we may leave. Therefore, before leaving, we have to do our duties towards myself, moral duties towards myself and others. And then people might say, of course, anytime we may leave, I know, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy being with a person, being such a person like you, being a nice person like you. Anytime we may leave, but I'm so happy being with a nice person, being with a nice person like you. This is what we really need when we are having association with our loved ones. See, that's the quality of APPAMADANA, quality of heedfulness. When you talk about your mind, just we have to be mindful. Oh, my mind is full of, craving. Sometimes in this current society, in this hectic society, people are so aggressive because of attachments. They are fighting each other to compete their thoughts and desires. Just take a moment. Focus on your own mind. What kind of thoughts I created within myself? Oh, those are, very strong thoughts of attachment. It's greedy. Sometimes I'm having angry feelings. It's anger by knowing, by accepting the real nature of my status of mind. Just we have to just clean, purify my thoughts by thinking, how about APPAMADANA? How about heedfulness? I have to encourage myself to follow good things, virtues. These kind of feelings are going to destroy my whole life. Not only that, I got this rare chance that is being a human, definitely I'm going to lose this rare chance. If I'm going to eradicate all kind of desires within this life, definitely I'm going to be born in one of else. Human life is categorized to, 100 years long life, but we cannot, predict how about my sansaric journey. We are supposed to predict how about my sansaric journey if we are going to eradicate our desires step by step. If you are going to be called, say, Sotapanna, the fruition of my life, indicating my attachment of these khandhas, 5 aggregates of Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, we call as life. That means Rupa means forms, Vedana means feelings, Sanya means Sanya, conceptions, and Sankhara and Vijnana, mental formations, Sankhara. Rupa forms, Vedana feelings, and Sanya perceptions, and Sankhara mental formations. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, forms, feelings, formations, conceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Altogether, we call as life. If I am going to eradicate of attachment with these 5 aggregates, that means we are going to be Sotapanna. We are going to become extreme winners unless we can say about my next lives. Most of the time, when we talk about the people, we understand people are so greedy. Of course, when we talk about they are lovely, but they are not trained to accept the truth of impermanence. They used to help each other. They used to share their feelings with each other. That's fine. But still they are having kind of attachment or strong attachment between wife and husband, parents and children, and with their belongings. That means if you are going to leave this world with this kind of craving, definitely we are going to be born in one of them. That's the problem. Therefore, when we become appamada or heedful, according to conventional truth, we act accordingly. Being a right person or being a righteous person, we study, work harder, make money, so on. But we have based on impermanence. We don't want to hold anything by thinking it is permanent. This is what appamada means. Therefore, according to the Buddha's teachings, work diligently, transient are all components. For each moment, we have to be heedful, not heedless. Then, within this life, we may become happy people. That means we are not going to be a millionaire or billionaire, but still, with our own understanding, we are so happy. Sometimes we are having a small hut to live, but still, with our understanding, we are happy. There are some people, those who are having a, big house, maybe few storied building, but still they are unhappy. They used to claim, we cannot sleep, we cannot stay under this roof. I feel lonely, though there are many members within their family, but still they feel lonely. They cannot explain their thoughts in their mind. They feel something dark or bad. See, If we are going to be heedful or mindful, definitely we understand the nature of impermanence, the nature of uh, thoughts. Thoughts come and go, appear and disappear. Nothing is permanent. Therefore, conventionally, we have to work with, but absolutely, we have to give up. That means we have to understand, we have to realize with impermanence. This is what Appamada or heedfulness is. By the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, dear devotees or listeners, my friends, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. Finally, attain Supreme Nibbana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Dhammika, for the very insightful sharing. I really appreciate and have learned something from this. So, is there any questions on the floor? So I will start the ball rolling. So, Bhante, for me, the impermanence and the Loba, Moha, and Loba, Moha, and Dosa. So, for me, I would like to ask for some clarification on the Moha, the delusion part. Um, how do you be aware of that in daily life? Because for the anger, you can see it coming, but for the delusion part, it's very difficult to catch it. So can you please teach how to overcome and to overcome moha in daily life? Thank you.
Clear to me. Your question is not clear to me. Can you repeat?
Yes, it's on moha. How do you catch and eliminate moha, delusion, in daily life? Because if dosa, anger, loba, greed is very easy uh, to to catch it, but for delusion, how do you do that? Thank you.
Yes, so that's why when we talk about illusion or moha, just conventionally we see, like flowers, it's subject to wither. Also, when we talk about our bodies, it's subject to get sick and old. We understand, but when we put into action our life, when we put into action, we are going to forget it. So that's why people are fighting over simple or slight things. It's an illusion. People think it's permanent. That means conventionally, according to simple knowledge, they know we are subject to get sick and old, finally die. It may happen anytime, people know. But they act with illusion. That means they think if I wish to have kind of thoughts which are attached to my mind, somehow I have to have it. I have to take it. It's an illusion. They think this is my permanent happiness. If I can get these things, what I wish, and then forever I'm going to be happy. It's an illusion. At the same time, people are fighting over lots of things. Without these things, I can't survive. People might think, people used to say. but nothing is permanent. So that's why we are asking people. It's an illusion. It's everywhere. When we think about, this is my wishes, this is my things, somehow I have to get it. Of course, you have to create good thoughts for your studies, for your future, for your work, your promotion, your things. Of course, you have to work harder. But still, you have to train your mind to the accept of impermanence. Otherwise, we may violate these rules. So that's why. That's why. Otherwise, at the same time, people think, you know, uh, same person is uh, going from this life to another. Of course, there's some power of this life which you have done as good or bad karma or volition, but not same person is going to reborn in other place. It's a kind of, if you are going to think same person is going to travel over this circle of death and birth or samsara, that means illusion. There are two things. One thing is, without impermanence, people are going to act and grafting. At the same time, people think after this life, same person is going to reborn. But just we have to think, nothing is permanent. Conventionally, it's right. Being a virtuous person, you have to work harder. You have to plan for your future. Of course, you have to do everything what you could for well-being of human world. That's fine, but nothing is permanent. Any time, anything happen to us. That means we may leave this world, keeping everything behind. This is what I try to explain. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Venerable Sir. It was a very good answer. Thank you, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. So, as there are no more questions in the chat box, so I would like to thank Bhante very much. And Bhante, would you like to do a short sharing of merits before we end this session?
Repeat it.
Would you like to do a sharing of merits?
Me. Is there?
Anumodana.
What's that?
Anumodana, sharing of merits. Would you like to do that? Sharing of merits.
Anumodana? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because there are some kind of technical problems. Sometimes there are some technical problems. Voice is not clear. Anyway, by the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, dear my Dhamma friends and all the listeners and devotees, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. Finally, attain supreme nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much, Bhante, for joining our session this evening. And
Thank you, and thank you, Anumodana.
thank you so much. So join us in our next session, and thank you for following us on the Facebook page. Bye.